What's up? What's up? I want to tell a story about each one, teach one. Today I called one of my good friends named Kurt just to holler at him, check on him. It's been a while since I talked to him. So when he answered the phone, I'm like, "What's up, man?" He said, "Man, I was just talking about your motherfucking ass last night." And every time we talk, we got a relationship where we just always cuss each other out and argue through the whole conversation. And that's just our way of showing each other, hey man, I still love your motherfucking ass. You know what I mean? So before I tell you why or what he was talking about me about, I want to say when I first met him, he's from Pittsburgh, man, and we hit it off at work. You know what I mean? He was like a big brother to me. Been through a lot, taught me a lot, man, through his experiences, and he one of them old good hair dudes. You know what I mean? Slick as shit, brush his shit to the side. So he told me, he was like, "Man, cut my hair, man," and I told him I cut hair. So sometimes when people got that good hair, as a barber, I love that because it's like a good canvas to put art on. So he had one of them good cutting heads. You know what I mean? So when I cut his hair, I put that thing on. And he was like, boy, I ain't never had nobody fade that thing like that. He just liked it. So, at the time, I ain't really cut hair no more. It was just more so, we would just kick it and chill out every weekend, man. He would come over, man, and so it just became a routine, more so type of thing. I ain't cutting nobody else's head other than mine, and his, or if my daddy wanted a haircut or something like that. But I wasn't doing no barber type thing. So over the years, man, he always wanted me to cut his hair, and I would tell him, like I made in the video last time. I say, "Look, man, I can dance, but I ain't no dancer." He'd be, "Man, come on, man. Cut my hair, man. You know what I'm saying, man? I gotta go somewhere." So this one day, I'm talking shit to him. I'm like, "Look, man, I tell you what, I'm gonna teach you how to cut your own damn head, man. I'm tired of cutting your damn head, man. Man, can't nobody cut my head like you." I said, "Well, you better learn to cut it your damn self." So I never forget the day I went over there. I showed him about the guards, showed him how everything, showed him how he brush it. And I put his hand up to his head. And I was like, "Man, just act like you brushing your hair, man. Goddamn, keep stroking it, man, the same way you brush your hair. As long as you got that guard on there, you protecting yourself." So I did it, showed him how to shape it up. Real talk, man. I told him, I said, "Now keep practicing, man. Leave me the hell alone. I ain't cutting your damn head no more. I don't feel like cutting hair no more." We just joking and talking all in good times. But since that day, he started cutting his hair, or you know what I mean? Sometimes he might be having a special occasion. He might call me like, "Man, give me a cut, man. Stop bullshitting." So, I cut his hair. But since that day, he been cutting his hair, man. And, he always tell me, "Man, boy, I'm a fool with them clippers." We joke about it. So when I talked to him today, he said he was just talking about it. I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Last night he showed his nephew how to cut his own hair, right?" And so he was like, my nephew was amazed, like he did it. You know what I mean? I showed him the same way you showed me. Put them guards on there, and I showed him, you know what I mean? And so, at the same time, it's feeling good to me because, like, wow, something I taught him just out of, brother, that's my big brother, we tripping. But at the same time, hey, don't depend on me to cut your hair. I ain't no barber no more. And just out of love, to see him really take that sincerely, what I showed him, and now he teaching somebody else the trade, man, to be self-sufficient in your own groove. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing with this corona thing. Like, everybody, "Hey, man, I need my hair cut." And, people calling me, "Man, when you cut, man," I say, "Look, man, I'm serious about this shit. I'm not finna get up in nobody's face but my wife. I ain't getting close to nobody's head, man." People act like they can't understand, like, hell no, So, and I tell people, man, you better go get some clippers and rub on your shit and Let your son practice on your shit. You ain't going nowhere no damn way. But back to Kurt teaching his nephew, it was crazy because he would say, his nephew asked him, who taught you? He was like, Trav taught me, man. And his nephew know who I am. He was like, you remember the one who cut your hair and you was crying like hell? And going back, like the dude named Zeb, I think he about 21 now, but he was one of the best quarterbacks ever out of Monroe High a couple years ago. I think he won a state championship up there, or about won something. But he was real good. But at the time, he was like about 8 or 9. And I went over there and cut his hair, man. You know, cut him a fade. You know, I just cut his head, man. I remember asking him, you know, how you want me to cut it? He was like, I don't care. So I cut his head. When I left, Kurt called me like, man, Zeb over here crying like hell. I said, for what? He was laughing and shit. He said, you cut his sideburns off. I was like, man, he ain't even had no damn sideburns. But, you know, that was just a joke, man. He was laughing. So he was like, the little dude said last night, Zeb was like, yeah, man, ever since that day, when I get into a barber chair, I tell them specifically how to cut my hair, what I don't want, what I do want. And Kurt was like, he do that because that's what I told him in the lesson was when he was crying. You got to tell people what you want. So to hear that made a precedent in his life, you know what I mean, man? It was just like, wow, man, you know, you know, each one teach one, man. I just taught my brother, you know, how to be self-sufficient in his own groove, you know what I mean? And to see he's still passing that same legacy on to another, that same teaching to another. So I was like, hey, Kurt, you won't be cutting hair for real? He was like, shit. You know, one time I think he was working with some group home type thing. He was like, shit, I was cutting them damn dudes' hairs like hell in there and was tight with that shit. He was like, everybody was like, how you know how to cut? I was like, I learned on my shit. And I'm like, darn, man. So that was just a feel-good story, man, about each one teach one. You know, that made my day, man. So, but you know, more than anything, man, if don't use this coronavirus to be looking crazy as hell, like you can't damn be self-sufficient in your own groove. At one time, shaving was a part of manhood. Grooming is a part of manhood. Man, don't never be that dependent where you walk around here like you looking crazy as hell if that matter to you, cause you ain't got enough sense to go get a pair of clippers, a brush, a comb, or something and stand in front of the mirror, man, and do whatever you need to do to make you feel good about yourself. That's for men and women, you know what I mean? Like I say, it's a lot of certain type of things in this here situation that if you real about it and dig deep, man, it's going to make you find out some beautiful things about yourself and those that matter, man. So, you know, each one teach one, you know, go get you a pair of whales, put the one guard on there, rub that shit in the same direction just like you damn brush your shit. You know, get you a pair of shape-up clippers, and you ain't crazy as hell. Use common sense and know where your shit at. Start right there and push that motherfucker down till your line strong. Like you say, it might seem like you're doing it out of desperation, but I tell you, it's a good feeling when you know you ain't got to depend on nobody to be damn you. You know what I mean, man? That's the point of it all, man. So, you know, I love you, man.